Hi Capricorn, let's hop into this message. We are looking at this full moon, what chapters are closing in our life, and what fears we're needing to face before we start to plant new seeds. So let's get into the Capricorn. I hope you're well. It's been an emotional week for me. And really everyone that I know in Pisces is, all about the emotions. So, okay. So Capricorn, you got the Two of Swords and you got Papa Coin. So Capricorn, it does feel like there's some endings into some friendships, into some relationships that weren't really pouring into you the way you poured into them. It does feel like these are people who you kind of consider soulmates, or just connections that you really thought were deep, and it's difficult for you to kind of start giving yourself in that emotional way to begin with. So it could be hurtful, but it makes way for relationships that are more authentic, relationships where you don't really have to hide the way you feel or not be your true self. That's closing. Because it feels like a lot of this love or a lot of these relationships or connections, it could even be business partnerships, it was just for show. There was really no there. It looked good, it sounded good, but it didn't turn out to be all it was cracked up to be. It feels like poison in the water, Two of Swords, or just corrupted or polluted in some way. And so that's ending because it was too much of a burden for you to carry basically their water, carry water for the other person, or carry all the water on a certain project or partnership. So that's ending. And then the fear you're needing to face, Capricorn, before you plant new seeds, you got Mama Coin, and she has the eyes of Oprah, or sorry, this is Papa Coin. But Papa Coin has the eyes of Oprah. And this actually does feel like a gender role fear. Regardless of your gender, being programmed that you have to be or do a certain thing because of your gender. So if you're a woman, like that, you're afraid to be powerful because you might be intimidating for a man, or if you're a man, that you're under so much pressure to be a breadwinner that it's kept you from being in an authentic, emotional, and vulnerable state because you've been so driven with work that you haven't been able to have emotional connections. But regardless, Capricorn, it kind of boils down to you fearing your own power and being programmed to play small, and not because when you were growing up the people didn't believe in you. It's just that they have very specific expectations of you, and your dreams are much bigger. The bottom of the deck right now, you have Mama Gourd, yeah, and under that, Seven of Coins. The dreams you have for your legacy are much bigger, and I think you fear your vision. You fear the magnitude of it. I mean, the eyes of Oprah, like that level of vision of multiple streams of income, influence, power, and the authority that you have already is almost like it's your birthright, Capricorn. It's your crown already, but I think you're afraid to kind of wear it. But the bottom of the deck, you got Mama Gore. This is who you are. This is your passionate. It is your birthright. It's your soul's vision. The things that you want to do are the things that you're passionate about, and that's why they'll succeed. Underneath that, the Seven of Coins is birthing something new and being a creative, but you have the business acumen, you have all of the tools, you have everything that it takes, you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the resources. If you don't have all of the financial funding or backing, you have you know how to get it. So before you start planting any new seeds, I think you need to adjust your crown, adjust. It's not just like a title I'm feeling or like what you call yourself or anything like that. I think it's more of a recognition of who you are and understanding how much you've done. Because before you trap yourself, because under that you have the Eight of Blades, and this is about entrapment or enslavement or limitations and really being burdened in the mind because of all of the ideas that you have. So break free from that by understanding like that you're not just one thing. Oprah is Oprah. So yes, she's a media personality, but she's also a publishing company. So realize that you are bigger and larger than life and embrace it. Don't worry so much about what you're called, but what you're called to do. Ooh, that's the word. Don't worry about what you call yourself. Just worry about what you're called to do and tend to that. Nurture it and free yourself from the restrictions of the expectations of others and even the expectations that you've had on yourself prior. You're allowed to define the vision because it's yours. You own it. So that is your message, Capricorn. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so here on theoverflow.com.